and I try to explore and to take advantage and to explain to the kids the importance of it, of having that self-confidence, because they don't realize how far it can carry you. I knew it. I didn't know it then, but I know it now, and it's an unbelievable feeling when you have that much confidence in yourself, because no one can touch you then. Regardless of what you decide to do in life, no one can touch you.
They said he was too small, too short, too weak. They said a man his size had no place in the land of giants. But Muggsy Bogues, he didn't ask for permission. He didn't wait for anyone to tell him what he could be. He knew what he was, and he stepped into that truth like a soldier stepping into battle. See, when you've lived through real pain, when you've heard gunfire outside your window, when you've seen your brothers fall to poverty, when you felt the weight of the world that doubts you, you stop being afraid of men. You stop being afraid of odds. At 5 years old, he was shot. 5. Most children at that age are learning how to write their names. He was learning what death looked like. And yet he lived. He lived, and he carried that survival with him like armor. So when he stepped on that court, he didn't play for applause. He didn't play for fame. He played because the game was freedom. Because every dribble, every steal, every victory was a rebellion against what the world said he couldn't be. He came from East Baltimore, a place where dreams don't survive long, where hope gets traded for survival and young men learn to fight before they learn to trust. But Muggsy, he had that spark, that divine spark, that kind you can't teach, can't coach, can't measure. He built his own hoop out of milk crates. Didn't need a court, didn't need money, didn't need permission. He created his own space to dream. That's what a man does when the world gives him nothing. He builds, and he worked day after day, grinding while others slept, bleeding while others laughed. He turned that pain into precision. He made his body into a weapon, small, quick, sharp, relentless. He turned his so-called weakness into a strength. He didn't just play the game, he rewrote it. And when they called him Muggsy, it wasn't just a nickname. It was a title earned because he took what belonged to him. He mugged giants, stole the ball, stole the show, stole their respect. Every time he stepped on the floor, he carried the weight of every man who had ever been told, "You can't." And he answered that lie with action. They said he couldn't make it into the NBA. He went 12th overall, 5'3", in a league built for men who towered over him. And he stayed for 14 years. Not as a novelty, not as a mascot, but as a leader, as a man who belonged. Because when you are who you are, you don't ask to belong, you claim your place. Muggsy wasn't just playing basketball, he was making a statement. He was showing that the world's measurements mean nothing when you're measured by your heart. He was 5'3" in body, but 10 feet tall in spirit. And that's what scared people. Not his height, his conviction. Because conviction can't be contained. It exposes the weak. It reminds the comfortable that greatness isn't given, it's taken. And when he made it, when the lights hit his name, when the world finally clapped their hands, he didn't forget where he came from. He went back to Baltimore, bought his mama a house. The same woman who looked at that little boy and said, "Son, they don't know your heart." That's legacy. That's love. That's what makes a man truly great. See, the story of Muggsy Bogues, it ain't about basketball. It's about revolution of spirit. It's about every man who ever felt overlooked, every boy who ever felt too small, every dreamer who was told to be realistic. Muggsy showed us that realism is the language of the defeated. Faith is the language of the free. He proved that your body doesn't determine your destiny. Your belief does. Your grind does. Your heart does. So the next time someone tells you you're not enough, too small, too broke, too late, you tell them about Muggsy Bogues. Tell them about the boy who got shot at 5. Tell them about the kid who built his own hoop. Tell them about the man who stood among giants and said, I belong here. Because when your heart is right and your purpose is pure, no system, no man, no mountain can stand in your way. He taught us something simple, something eternal. Heart has no height, and the will to rise, that's what makes you tall.
Warner had to go high to get it. Michael with Muggsy on him. Look at this. They want to clear out. Parrish is illegal. Parrish is illegal. Now he gets out. And Muggsy, foul call?
Illegal. Illegal defense. You're right. You call it.
Well, finally they did, yeah.
Now, Muggsy said, get out. Everybody get out. They did. They don't adjust. Muggsy reaching in here. Now he's going to go for this shot. Looks like he gets fouled here, but Rosa says they already call it. So Zoe Morning leaves as Michael goes up.